Good morning. Happy first day of spring term 2022. This is Art 141. Had to remember for a second which class I was talking about. Art 141, Introduction to Photography. So welcome. My name is Kim Manchester. My pronouns are she, they, and I wanted to just send out a personal welcome this term to you all. I know today there's actually a number of announcements that are getting published for our D2L page, and I just wanted to update some of the material and make sure that you all could just kind of see my face, and I could say hi to you all right now. You'll notice that in a lot of the videos, actually you'll notice by either what I'm wearing or my hair, what season it is. My hair goes through lots of changes. I don't know why, it just does. Anyway, that's not why we're all here. So welcome to Art 141, Introduction to Photography. This class is a creative class. It's primarily a lecture class. So there's going to be a lot of information. A lot of what we do in this class happens over our discussions. So if you go to our activities pull down in the navigation menu bar, like at the top of our D2L page, you'll see that there's discussions and there's assignments. And the assignments list is really, really tiny. It really is just about the cumulative work that we turn in at the end of the term. And so that's just a small number of assignments, but we build them as we go throughout the term. So it is something that I'll address. This class is the third time that we've presented this course shell for a completely online asynchronous Art 141 class. Every term, I learn how to be more efficient with my feedback and my grading, how to get that faster, done more quickly and back to you faster, so that you can use that feedback in your work as you keep moving forward. If you run into a bug, something that doesn't make sense, something that just doesn't jive or is just incorrect, like a date, those are kind of sneaky. Just let me know. Email me. My email is kim.manchester@pcc.edu. And as you'll see throughout this course, I really emphasize process and learning through experience. And so, yes, that means that sometimes things are a little bit messy and you run into obstacles. The point is not avoiding the obstacles or not having them. The point is, what do you do with those obstacles once you run into them? Because we all run into obstacles, right? And in photography, a big part of how photography has evolved has been in that spirit of curiosity and working the angles, coming into a problem or coming into a desire to make something happen. If people who were in the beginning of photography avoiding the difficult, avoiding the obstacles, we never would have gotten here. So I really hope that you're coming into this term with a sense of curiosity, that I know a lot of students come into this particular class feeling like they really want to learn how to use their cameras, whether it's their phone or their point and shoot or their DSLR or whatever the camera is that they're using. They really want to understand a little bit better about like how to make better photos. This class is not a studio class. However, I think the best way to learn about something is to practice and have experiences with that thing, right? So we are going to have the experience of making images. I am going to emphasize both the meaning and the technique. So both the skill and the conceptual, the ideation, the aesthetic, the visual, right? So you'll learn correct terms for the different parts of the camera. You'll learn what those different parts do. There is a very fine line between what we do in this class and what we focus on deliberately in the Introduction to Digital Photography. We don't do any editing in this class. However, we do talk about composing images. We talk about creating or constructing images. We talked about fact and fiction, context, right? We talk about all the different things that if Photoshop was never invented, photographers would still be doing with their photographs, whether it's the image itself, manipulating the negative, manipulating the environment, or just a matter of point of view and deciding what to include and what to exclude from the frame. So a lot of those things get discussed this term. I use a series of videos that I've made that our online department has edited and made a little bit more coherent and flowing as far as videos go. And I have also done a number of screencasts, slideshows. I've made handouts. I do little bits every once in a while called short exposures, where I just kind of create a handout and talk about one particular element of photography that we're covering at that point. And every term I add more to the class and I take away other things. I try to repair anything that looks like it hasn't worked very well for students. And so your feedback is really key about that. So I really want to make sure that every time this class gets taught, that people feel like they're getting exactly, no, not that you're getting exactly what you want. I want you to feel like you've gotten more and that you are able to apply what you know here and what you've learned here out into the world, because regardless of whether or not we make images with our own cameras, and I think a lot of us do, we consume images. And so that's a big part of this too, is critical thinking about, what it is that we're seeing and why. Why are we seeing it? Why does it make us feel that way? So it's about visual literacy. So this class is a lot of fun because we actually get to talk and focus on not just digital mediums and digital photography, but also film photography, photo history, and we get to be a little bit more playful with how we answer some of the technical and skill building questions that we'll have. One of the big things to know about this class this first week is that there's a lot of material for you to go through. I do have some, getting to know you kind of exercises that really are about, you explaining kind of why you're here and introducing yourselves to each other, but also to me, and to show that you're, quote unquote, attending the class. So I have hyper flexibility with regards to attendance. Obviously this is online and it's asynchronous. And so I know some of you may do a little bit every day. Some of you might actually do, a couple hours one day and then do a bunch another day. So some of you like to marathon, some of you like to sprint as far as your workflow goes. So however you decide to show up for class, as long as you're showing up for class and you're keeping up with everybody, I think that that's going to be really key. The reason why I want you to keep up with regards to discussions and cohort interactions is that it really depends on the group being there within a particular time period. So do the best you can. And if you're having any issues keeping up or, coming into a discussion in a place or a time period where other people feel like they're going to still be present to respond to you, then, if you're having trouble, just reach out to me and we can make a meeting or we can go back and forth over email. I'm happy to communicate with you in either way. I do have office hours and there's a link to appointments. However, if you ever can't make an appointment with me or it doesn't work out time-wise for you, please just email me and let me know. I'm teaching 2 online classes this term and then getting ready to teach abroad in Prague this summer. So I am going to be online quite a bit. My hours are relatively flexible, so I can definitely work around my own time teaching and my own time prepping in order to accommodate you too. So we'll figure it out if we need to go outside the office hours. What else? Equipment. Technically, you don't actually need to have a camera for this class. You are going to be making images, so you can use just your cell phone. You can use a mirrorless camera like this Sony that I have. If you have a camera that has a manual exposure mode, that's ideal. You don't have to have it, but we will be talking about manual exposure and how that works. And depending on what material is old or new or current, I may or may not be focusing more on digital or film. Kind of depends on like where you catch me on the videos and such. So if you have specific questions about film, please just let me know, get it on my radar, and I'll focus a little bit more there. I always like to add a little bit more every term. And I know when I first made this course, we were focusing a little bit more on digital than we were film, but I tend to refer to film at the same time. So it's kind of interwoven in the lectures. If you do have a film camera, you are more than welcome to use it. Everything that we do here will apply to that. The issue with having a film camera for this class is turning in work. You have to digitize your work at some point. So either you have a scanner at home where you can digitize your negatives, and even if you have a scanner at home, you will need to develop your film. So whether that's black and white or color, there are places in town like Blue Moon Camera and Machine that will do your black and white for you. Pro Photo will do it as well. There's the Portland Darkroom that has once a month darkroom days for folks that could rent. It would be cheaper and probably faster for you to go ahead and just use a digital camera or your cell phone and then back that work up with your film camera. I don't know yet, and I can find out whether or not PCC Southeast Campus is offering community ed darkroom yet. I think they might. I will find out. I will make a note for myself right now. We won't be offering credit courses in darkroom until next year, but I'll be heading that up. So I will definitely keep folks posted. And I'm happy to answer any film camera questions. And as the light is getting better and the days are longer, I will be doing more of my own film and cyanotype and tintype work. So I'm happy to make videos and share with you all like what's going on with that too. So just, give me a shout out if you're a film person and you really want me to make sure that I include you a little bit more if you have specific things that you're looking for. And, but as far as the technical information and the lectures, film and digital are pretty much addressed at the same time. All right, so if there's any other questions, let me know. I'm going to be making another video that I'll post that gives you a tour of the class. I know that there's a lot of videos and a lot of announcements this week, so it's a little bit much to do. Make sure that you take the quiz after you reviewed the course material and all the important documents. That quiz can be retaken until you pass it 100%. Once you pass it, you will be able to have access to all the information for the course. So if you are having a hard time passing it, or you can't access it, or you're having other technical difficulty, reach out to me. And if it's technical, especially, please reach out to the student help desk because they can get to you right away and they can see what your computer is doing and help you with that. And I can't necessarily do that. If it's class related, that's me. If it's technical related, it's probably student help desk, and you can always CC me on it. All right, well, I look forward to reading everybody's introductions online. You'll see more of me. First day of term, wear a blazer. Lots of times you'll just see me in a sweatshirt. So I look forward to getting to know all of you. Welcome, I'm happy you're here. I'll talk to you later.